Hello YouTube, thank you for coming back one more time. If you're new to the channel, like, subscribe, because I post notifications so you never miss a video, and comment down below. Now today we're going to talk about National Grief Awareness Day, August the 30th, 2022. The National Grief Awareness Day on August the 30th is dedicated to raising awareness of the MARYRAD, MARYRAD, so sure about that, ways in which individuals cope for loss. It offers resources to those going through personal losses and reminds us to support people we know who are grieving. National Grief Awareness Day, founded by Angie Cartwright in 2014, hopes to encourage communication on loss and bereavement and better inform the public on the facts of grief. I believe this was made for me. Okay. National Grief Awareness Timeline. 1917, a natural process. Psychologist Sigmund Freud famously penned, grieving in a national process that should not be tampered with. 1969, On Death and Dying. The 1969 book On Death and Dying by Elizabeth Ross first lays out the theory more commonly known today as the 5 stages of grief. 1981, two-track model of grief, established by Simmons Rubin. The two-track model of bereavement provides deeper insight into the grieving process, which was previously oversimplified and inaccurate. 1996, grief in question. Beginning around 1996 and lasting until 2006, psychologists seriously questioned the simplicity of grief. 2007, complicated grief establishment. Complicated grief, a type of grief that gets worse over time and is commonly caused by a complicated relationship with the deceased person and first cautiously defended as existing in a study. 2022, PGD is added to the handbook in March, my birthday month. The American Psychiatric Association adds PGD to its official diagnosis handbook. How to observe National Grief Awareness Day. Number 1, support a grieving friend. If a friend has been honest with you and shared a current story of grief or loss, today is the day to be an extra shoulder for them to cry on, while acknowledging that everyone processes their feelings differently. Offer to support your friend in whatever they may need. I don't need nothing. Number 2, engage in self-care. In the throes of grief, a normal human response to loss, self-judgment, and anger are not productive emotions. Rather than attempting to rush yourself into an acceptable grieving timeline, remember that there is no one path for those in mourning, and engage in self-care by letting yourself feel whatever you feel. Amen to that. Number 3, post National Grief Awareness Day. Hashtag. Help National Grief Awareness Day accomplish its mission for educating the public on grief by sharing what you've learned on social media. Creating space for any kind of reaction to loss is healthier for you and might just be what someone in your social circles needed to see. 5 important facts about grief. Number 1, myth: grief equals mourning. Though not widely known, it's true to that mourning and grief cannot be used interchangeably. Grief is the internal pain, associated with loss, while mourning is the external expression of the pain and is often fact. F-A-C-I-L-I-T-A-T-E-S, grief. I tried to get it out, but it wouldn't come out. Number 2, grief often comes with secondary loss. While the trauma of losing a loved one is hard enough, those in mourning frequently must cope with a secondary associate loss, like loss of financial security or loss of housing. Number 3, myth: grief happens in clearly defined stages. While professionals have identified significant stages of grief that often occur, it is possible and even common for those working through grief to skip steps entirely, have more than one reaction at one, or move backwards through the steps. Number 4, grief requires effort. Grief work is the term often used to refer to a grief response. The physical and emotional toll of grief deeply affects the lives of those going through it. So it's important to engage in self-care throughout. Number 5, myth: grief can be completely resolved. Sadly, many people who have experienced loss report that grief in some form or another continues for the rest of their lives. Like many other mental alignments, it can occur in various levels or intensity for years. Now, that was deep. That was really, I learned a lot. It was real deep. So if you is new to the channel, like, subscribe, turn on post notifications. Comment down below. Let me know what you think about this video. Remember, you're too blessed to be stressed. Love and happiness at all times. Hug somebody and tell them you love them. Always do a random act of kindness. I didn't say it in the last video, but you know what I mean. I shouldn't have to tell you to do a random act of kindness. So until next time, I will see you on the next one. Peace.